Hi guys, Digital Principal and Computer Organization. The subject code is CS3351. This is the Unit 2 Synchronous Sequential Logic. This is the second part video in second unit. What is meant by flip-flop? Flip-flop is an important topic going to ask you in exam. This topic is considered to be important for both part A and part B. Part A and part B. A circuit that has two stable states is known as flip-flop. The two stable state is represented with one is present state and the another one is next state. This stable state are used to store the binary data, that is 0 and 1 data. It is a flip-flops are the building block of digital circuit. The main purpose of using the flip-flop is to store the data and to provide the next state output. Latches and flip-flop have the similar as well as dissimilar characteristics. The similar characteristics between this both is both will be act as the memory storage element in the digital circuit. And the dissimilarities between this is there will be a condition in flip-flop to use the clock, but in latches either we will use clock or not. This is the similarities and dissimilarities between latches and flip-flop. This is the block diagram of flip-flop. We are going to provide a certain number of input to get an two output. The first output is represented with Q and it is known as present state output for given input. And the next output is known as next output. And this output is dependent on the present output or present state output. Latches is also a building block element in digital circuit and it is a special type of logical circuit. It also have two state, one is low and high stable state. For this reason, the latches also referred with bistable multi-vibrator. Latches will be operated with the level triggered digital circuit and flip-flop is represented with the edge triggering. So both the level triggering and the edge triggering we will study in our previous video in the topic under clock pulse. If the triggering is occurring here and here means the triggering is known as level triggering. If the triggering is occur in the rising and falling level means then the triggering is known as edge triggering. Like flip-flop, the latches also store the data. Latches store the data. It is used as a memory element in the digital circuit like the flip-flop. This is the difference between latches and flip-flop. Latches are level triggered device and the flip-flop are edge triggered device. There will be a no classification in latches, but the flip-flop will be classified into asynchronous and synchronous. The latches can be clocked or clockless, but the usability of clock is necessary in the flip-flop. Latches are operated with binary input. The flip-flop are worked with both the clock and binary input. The latches are faster compared to flip-flop. The flip-flop are slower compared to latches. Why the latches are faster? because there is no usage of clock here, but in flip-flop there is a usage of clock. If there is a clock means there is a time limit to provide an output, but in latches it going to provide an output at any instant of time. The latches are constructed from the logic gate and the flip-flops are constructed from latches along with the additional clock signal. Usually the type flip-flops are classified into four types: SR flip-flop, JK flip-flop, T flip-flop and D flip-flop. The SR flip-flop is known as set read set flip-flop. The JK flip-flop is developed with the drawback of SR flip-flop. And T is the toggle flip-flop, D is the delay flip-flop. In this two flip-flop, there will be a two input to provide an two output. But in T and D flip-flop, there will be a one input to provide an two output. In my next video, I will explain about all those flip-flop with definition, truth table, characteristic equation and excitation table. Thank you guys.